So Donald Trump attacked CNN over and over and over again. And look, you want to talk about bias, perspective in the media. Yes, everybody does it. Nothing wrong with that. That's also part of freedom of speech. But Trump had videos that he tweeted on Twitter earlier, which, in the beginning when he did the body slamming one, I said CNN was getting bent out of shape. It's just a stupid reference to wrestling. It doesn't actually mean violence. And then there was more attacks against CNN, also running them over. And then they're on the bottom of his shoe. And then he does those stupid fake news awards and says CNN is the worst of the worst. And CNN is ruining this country. To me, the worst of any of that stuff, all of that, one of those by itself doesn't mean anything. But in mass, it is constantly telling his deranged followers, make sure you do something about CNN. CNN is the enemy. So that is why I say the worst of the worst is when he said that these news outlets were the enemy of the people. Well, that's what fascists say. That's not what an American president says that has ever read the First Amendment or respects it. So what has happened now? Unsurprisingly, a Trump fan has decided to threaten CNN with murdering everyone in the building. Are we surprised? Don't pretend you're surprised. This is exactly what the right wing agitated for, and here you go. And then they tell us, oh, well, he didn't do it yet, so take it easy. No. If you're in that building and there's a mass shooting every day in America, and this guy's coming saying, I'm gonna kill you all, you'd be insane not to be worried. So let's go to the story here. Talking Points memo explains over 2 days earlier this month, 19-year-old Michigan resident Brandon Greismer made close to 24 menacing calls to CNN's Atlanta headquarters. He threatened to kill everyone in the building in several of those calls, according to court documents filed on Friday. So what was Brandon saying? He called on me and he said, CNN is, quote, fake news. Gee, I wonder where he got that into his head. I can't quite tell. Then I'm gonna give it to you with the curse words. I don't want to say the N-word. So he said, I'm going to gun you all down. Fuck you, fucking N-words. Reference to fake news with racism and violence mixed in. Gee, I wonder where that came from. I can't quite tell. He went on to say, I'm coming for you, CNN. I'm smarter than you, agree to disagree, more powerful than you. I have more guns than you, more manpower. Your cast is about to get gunned down in a matter of hours. But what, oh, just trolls online, just trolls. I mean, they're threatening to murder people and put bullets in their heads, but don't worry about it. Meanwhile, Trump is threatening to arrest people he doesn't agree with politically and in the media, but don't worry about it, don't worry about it. I mean, as fascism sets in day after day, we're told not to worry about it. No, thank you. I think we should take precautions. And by the way, great work by the authorities in apprehending this man. Later on January 9th, an investigator hired by CNN traced the calls to a number registered to Greismer's father. Turned out to be the same number that Greismer had used to call the Islamic Center of Ann Arbor in September and make derogatory comments about Muslims, according to police records cited in the same court documents. No, he's also anti-Muslim. Well, I didn't see that coming. Gee, I wonder where he got that idea. And on it goes. Now look, his father, I don't blame him at all. I hold the person responsible, not people around him, not his father or mother, and I get his instinct as a father to defend his son. Of course he's gonna wanna do that. But he said this comment, he said, this whole thing has been a mistake. He really didn't mean any of it. Now again, as his father, I get that you wanna say that. But no, we do not take your word for it, and we do not take his word for it, because earlier, his word was that he was gonna murder everybody in the building. In fact, I'll give you one more quote. He said, I'm coming to Georgia right now to go to CNN headquarters to fucking gun every single last one of you. Luckily, he was stopped by authorities before he did any of that. That is a crime. It should be punished as a crime. We defend freedom of speech. I defend CNN's freedom of speech. We defend our own freedom of speech. We defend our critics' freedom of speech. But saying you're going to murder people is not covered under freedom of speech. That is a direct threat. It can be considered assault. And in a country filled with lunatics, all with weapons, you'll excuse us if we take your insane threats seriously and take precautions surrounding it. So absolutely should have been arrested, and thank God they got to him before he actually did anything. It is not cute or clever or part of the First Amendment to go around online or on the phone and tell people that you're going to murder them. You just watched a video by the Young Turks, home of the revolution. If you'd like to get a lot more than that, get the full show by becoming a member. tytnetwork.com/join.